Hello, I'm here to make my video on why to buy silver. I'm making this video because I've been telling people, but people probably don't understand it. They just think I buy coins because they're shiny. No, not at all. This is a very, very good investment, very, very smart. I've looked at it from every angle. I don't see a hang up. I think the worst thing that could happen is price doesn't go up. Very, very few investments have that. Very, very few have that. So worst case, the price stays about the same. You don't make that much. I honestly think worst case, you make about 2 to 3 times your money. Worst case is silver will probably go up to about $100, $150, $200, somewhere in there, and that would probably be the worst case scenario that you'll wind up with. And again, this is long term, a few years down the line. But there's a couple reasons to have silver, okay? The first one's going to be diversification. Every money manager that's worth anything will tell you to have diversification. That doesn't mean to have 10, 20 different stocks. That means to own stocks, cash assets, real estate, and one of those diversifications is metal. And that's metal is your insurance. When all your other things fail you, or if there's inflation or something happens, you can always fall back on your stockpile of metal. Now, and these are money managers telling you to do this. This is not me. This is common practice. That's what diversification is. Right now we think diversification is owning all different stocks. You diversify your stock portfolio, which is your stock portion of your investments, which might be 30% of your investment capital. You want real estate, maybe your own business, and something else, probably the metal. They say 5 to 10%. They say to have 5 or 10% of your investment assets in precious metal, and that's during good times. These are not good times. I know the stock market's at its all-time high, but that's based on $85 billion a month being printed. So they're deflating your money. What is that, 1% a month, I think it is? 1 to 1.5% every month. Your money's losing value, so they can prop up the stock market. That money's not being used to build anything in this country. It's not being used to invest in jobs or anything. It's just being used to hand in bankers. They're investing in the stock market, propping the stock market up. At some point, you have to stop printing that money. The stock market falls. Pretty simple. So diversification is the number one reason to have metal, because unless you've learned that from someone, no one knows that you're supposed to diversify in metal, because no one tells you that. That's number one rule. Number two rule for investing is to find something, find valuable things that are underpriced. When you look to buy stocks, you can buy the rising one, or you can look for one that's, for whatever reason, is low in price. Most things go through a curve or a wave, a roller coaster effect, or they have highs and lows. Metal really doesn't have a high or low. Metal's worth the same every day. Unfortunately, the money that we use is not money. It's a Federal Reserve note. Federal Reserve notes are debt, and they are worth less and less every day. In fact, after normal inflation, now you have to add on the 1% that they're decreasing your money by every month by printing the 85 billion. So your normal inflation is probably 5 to 10%, plus they're devaluing your money another 1% every month. That's another 12%. So now you're talking 17 to 20% just in inflation, quite a bit. So you have to find something that you can really gain a lot of profit on to balance that out, to protect yourself. Undervalued asset. And right now silver is being very undervalued, because they don't want you to realize that silver is valuable, so they've been holding the price down through selling off the U.S. stockpiles. The U.S. stockpiles are gone, which is why silver is now climbing every unit. They're trying to pull out all the stops to hold the price down. I don't understand it. they're trying to hide that silver is valuable. They're trying to hide that your money's being inflated away year by year. But you can see through that. You can see through that. So it's an undervalued asset. Next thing is you want to find something that's limited in supply. Silver is very the supply of silver is very limited. They produce just enough silver every year to meet the demand. They've been saying lately there's a little bit of surplus. I can't see where there's any surplus at all. There's no surplus. There's no stockpile. It's just-in-time inventory. So these mines are producing all around the world just enough to meet the demand. They're probably ahead of the game by a few months, but basically it's just in time. Inventory comes. If you buy coins right now, if you're buying coins, you're more than likely buying 2013 coins. You're buying brand new coins. You're not buying old coins. The silver's coming out of the ground. It gets minted. It gets sold to you. That's about 2-3 month process. So the silver you're holding in your hand and you go to the store and buy it, that was in the ground probably 2-3 months earlier. So just in time inventory because there's no surplus. There's no surplus. You also want to invest in something that's got higher growing demand. Silver has both. More people are realizing that, wait a minute, silver is valuable. Wait a minute, there's not that much around. Wait a minute, silver is money. Silver doesn't go down in value. I do need something to protect myself. I do need to get that 5 or 10% investment. Silver's at an all-time high. All-time high. I don't know what to tell you. All-time high. More silver is being sold now than all through history. So in 2,000-3,000 years, the most silver being sold is right now. We use half of it in manufacturing. We use some for jewelry, and then the rest of it is used for investment. About 30%. About 30% is left over for investment. And it all gets sold. No second party risk. Second party risk is when you buy stocks, you're not buying stocks. You're buying a promise that you're buying stocks. You're going to Fidelity, E-Trade, whoever you're going to. One, you have to trust that that company doesn't go bankrupt. You have to trust that that company is actually investing in the funds that you're saying that there is. For the most part, I think they are. But if something happens, they could technically divert your money, steal it, and go bankrupt. Once you do, if your investment firm is solid, the next thing you have to worry about is the company. Is the company offering those shares? Do they pay dividend? What are their practice for introducing more stocks? Do they need to raise capital so they're just flooding the market with more and more shares? Are they taking profit, which means paying themselves in shares and dumping that on the market? So there's third-party risk, one from the company, from the board, paying profits to themselves, and third from your investment company. So a lot of third-party risk there, but for the most part, so far we've been pretty good in the United States that way. But that risk is there. With silver, there is no third-party risk. You either have it or you don't. If you invest in paper silver, which is an ETF, SLV, something like that, you're investing in a promise that they're going to have silver there. So you're saying, we have a stockpile of silver. You don't actually get the silver, but you're going to get a share of the silver. In fact, you're not going to get a share. You're just going to get to say that you have a share. Okay? You don't own it or anything. You don't own a share. You don't own anything. You just have that portion of the thing, of the ETF. With real silver, you have it and you have it in your hand. You can keep it at home. You can keep it at wherever you keep your things locked up. I can't tell you where to keep your things safe, but silver, you physically have it. Someone has to come to your house and actually take it. But there's no third-party risk. You have an ounce of silver, you have it in your hand. You can't lie about it. There's no contract that can't be stolen from you. You can't be tricked out of it, things like that. You actually physically have it. Next is low entry price. What I like about silver is how easy it is to invest. Two things I like about it actually: how cheap it is for how much it's worth, and how easy it is to get into it. The common denomination for silver is 1 ounce. 1 troy ounce of silver is right now going for about $30. A lot of people ask me what's the price? What's the price? Is it up? Are you rich yet? No, I'm not rich yet. This is a long-term plan. The paper price, if you buy a paper ETF online, that's going to be about $23. To buy an ounce of silver is about $30. Again, that's the price fixing. That's one of the reasons why silver is such a good value. They are trading paper trying to say that silver is only worth $23, $24. It's not. It's worth $30. You go try to buy an ounce of silver, it's going to be anywhere from $29 to $30, about $29 to $40. Depends on what kind of silver you want to get. But you can, again, low entry price. $30 is pretty cheap. I think that everyone can afford to buy 1 ounce of silver every week. $30 a week isn't that much. Worst case, maybe every other week. Definitely worst case is 1 ounce of silver a month. If you can't afford 1 ounce of silver a month, you're not trying. Very easy investment to get into. You don't have to buy 1 troy ounce. You can buy smaller denominations. You can buy old coins, 1964 and older, are silver. So a silver dime is worth $2 to $3. A quarter is worth about $5 to $6, and a 50-cent piece about $11 to $13. So you can start anywhere from $2 to $30. The next thing I like about silver is it gets you ahead of the curve. Okay, when you're investing, if you can be ahead of the curve, that's where you make your money. If you're buying Apple at $8,500, $125, that's where you made your money. It helped if you bought it at $400 or $500. You made a little bit, but if you were ahead of the curve and you knew it was a good company, that's where you made your money. That's where we are with silver. We are way ahead of the curve. The people who are buying silver 8 years ago, 10 years ago, I think they're geniuses. They're really smart. But this is still a pretty good time. Pretty good time. We've had a huge knockdown. They're trying one last ditch effort to try to discourage people, have them sell the silver, have them go to other investments. It's not working. It's not working at all. People realize silver is the investment, gold is the investment if you want to protect yourself. There's lots of things you can make money on. You could probably make a lot more money in stocks if you're a genius. For most of us, we're just not going to make any money in stocks. Our 401k is not going to make any money. It's all timing. Those days are past. Stock market and 401ks were excellent investments probably for 30, 40, 50 years. That's why so many people are retired now. But really now, the way they keep playing games and keep crashing the market, they're just not good investments. So you have to diversify. That's why you have to diversify. You have to put some of your money in something else that's going to go up in value. And silver's it. And you're ahead of the curve. People don't know about this yet, or don't want to admit it. Everybody knows if you find a treasure chest, right, what's going to be in it? Silver and gold. That money from 1,000 years ago, if you find that, is valuable. Okay. Same thing now. If you buy all the silver today and you stash it away until you retire 10, 20 years from now, what do you think it's going to be worth? It's going to be worth more. And people are going to want it, okay, because silver and gold is valuable. So metal is definitely one of the best investments because silver is money. That's my next point. Silver is money. They're trying their hardest to change people's mind, to trick them, make them think silver is not money. Don't worry about that. Just buy stocks. That's all you need to do. Well, if you're investing in stocks, that's again leaving yourself to third-party risk. Your money can get stolen from all kinds of things. You talked about Apple, but if you're investing in Apple, Steve Jobs is selling millions and millions of shares back into the company and stealing your money that way. So there's lots of different ways you can get your money stolen by investing just in stocks alone. You have to diversify. You have to buy different things. And silver is one of the ways to diversify because it is money. I think it's one of the best ways to save. You can save at your bank. They're not giving you anything. Okay, they're not paying you any interest, and in fact, now with the laws, you're actually you're an investor in the bank. You're not a depositor. You're an investor, which means your money's at risk. There's really not. You won't have a whole lot of recourse when something happens. So, You don't want to leave your money just sitting in the bank for no reason. You want to find something to do with it that you can get in and out of quickly. And silver is probably the easiest way to save, easier than a CD. It pays you way more than a CD, anything like that. So it's a very good way, and it's money. Okay. Next thing is the silver stockpiles are gone. Which is one of the I really like this about silver. I was researching and researching it, and one of my fears was, what if the government decides to sell off all their stockpiles to fix the price, so the price doesn't go up? Because I know they're trying to fix the price. I know they're trying to fix the price, so I'm trying to think, what would they do to stop the price from going up? And one of the things they can do is sell their stockpiles. They already did that. that money's gone. That silver's gone. We had the largest stockpile in the world in the 50s. Our forefathers were smart. They were stockpiling silver, gold, land, everything. Now these guys get in charge. They are spending everything. They're spending everything. All our stockpiles. Hopefully we still have our gold stockpile. They've gone through our silver stockpile probably to build our infrastructure, our electrical grids, our military, our space programs all need silver. They probably use that silver for that, and they probably use the rest of silver to control the price. That ran out about 2002. That's why silver is now going up, because the stockpiles are gone, and there's not enough. There's not enough silver around. There was probably just enough at the time, but now the demand keeps inching up. It's inching out of the mining supply. So silver is really starting to take off. That's why the future outlook looks so good. One, you have to diversify. We know that now. We have to diversify. It's an undervalued asset. It's in limited supply. There's no stockpiles. Everything points to the price going up. Everything. So the future outlook is very good. I don't think the future outlook of anything is better. The stock market, yeah, it can go up, but it's being inflated up. So that means it has to crash. It could go up. I think it could go up to infinity, but right now our economy is not rebuilt yet. Missiles are more important than building the economy. Missiles are more important than renewing our cities, than rebuilding our transportation, than any of those things. You know, anything that a country builds, we're not doing. We'd rather have a military and blow things up and waste all that money instead of investing in something good, which is what silver does. You're investing in a tangible asset that you're going to have, and you're going to have. That's why the future outlook is very good. So that's why I like silver. I think it's a win-win-win. There's no loss. There's nothing to lose with silver. Only in the short. Only if you look short term. If you buy it today and want to sell it in a couple months, you're probably going to lose some money. There's no doubt about that. If you're going to buy it maybe and sell it in 6 months or a year, you still might lose money. Okay, this is not a short-term investment. This is a medium to long-term investment. But I think when it hits, it's going to hit pretty big, and you'll be very glad that you bought some silver. So that's my 2 cents, my 10 top reasons why I kind of like silver. I might be revising this, but these are pretty good reasons. These are normal investing reasons why to buy something, not just the silver reasons, but for any asset. If any asset meets these requirements, I say buy it.